Good morning. Welcome to Tennessee Valley this morning on this Monday morning. It is June the 18th. It's early in the morning, 6:30. We hope you had a good weekend. Of course, if this is the replay at noon, then it's probably noon. But for those of us that are up, it's 6:30 in the morning. Another good week ahead, we hope. The weekend, I believe, was good for most of us, and hope it was for you as well. This is the first show of the week, and I always like to remind folks to stay tuned throughout the week for great programming here on WTNB. Of course, we have Tennessee Valley this morning, every morning at 6:30. I know on Tuesdays they have a different host. It used to be the Matt and Matt show, and I think they're taking a break during the summer. We may talk a little bit about them in just a second. On Wednesdays, it's Joe and Kim Palo, and on Thursdays, Nancy Kaysen and Brene Beatty, and then on Friday is Rob and Ryan. I believe Ryan's going to be back on the show. He's taken some time off. I think he may have been on last Friday. I missed the show, but they are the Friday hosts. And then my name is Alan Mincy, and I'm an alternating Monday host. Every other Monday. On other Mondays, we have Tracy and Tommy Wright from Cleveland State. And we have Doc Carbaugh, a local real estate agent. And I keep forgetting her co-host name. I keep forgetting Regina's name until I say that I've forgotten it. And her co-host is Regina in most cases. And They all do a great program, and we hope that we do too. We hope that you enjoy what we do. We've got a great show today. Got a couple of guests that I will introduce and tell you about here in a few minutes. Want to take just a few minutes. As you know, I am Vice President of Communications with United Way Bradley County, and I always like to take this first segment and talk a little bit about what we've got going on down at United Way. A couple of weekends ago, we were out at Whirlpool for their open house for their employees and their families. They allowed 5 of the nonprofits in our community that they are very supportive of to be there. And we appreciate them allowing us to be there to talk to some of the employees and the families. A great time. We love the folks at Whirlpool, so thank you for allowing us to be there. This weekend, you may have noticed in the Cleveland Daily Banner that a guy who is in our office, actually not necessarily a part of United Way, but Jim Polier, who is the director of the Long-Term Recovery Organization, and that is the organization that has worked after the tornadoes of April 27th, 2011, on to the present in helping folks recover from that. He was honored by the Harry S. Truman Club in town with their Citizenship Award for 2012. And that was in the Cleveland Banner this Sunday, yesterday's paper. So congratulations to Jim. Of course, we've talked about August 15th. We've got our annual kickoff luncheon, I guess you would call it, campaign kickoff luncheon. And John Smoltz is going to be our special guest for that. A great coup for us to bring in someone of John Smoltz's caliber. And it was a couple of Fridays ago that his number was retired down at the stadium in Atlanta. Number 29 was retired, and I talked with Richie Hughes, who's a friend of his, and he was there for the ceremony and also for the luncheon that they had. And he said that Jeff Foxworthy really gave him down the road during that presentation. So that was something that we're looking forward to having John Smoltz on the 15th. Once again, tickets for the luncheon will go on sale on July the 11th. Not available yet, but they will be on the 11th of July. So keep that in mind and get them quickly, because he's a Hall of Famer or a future Hall of Famer, a great guy, and I know there's going to be a lot of folks that want to come and see John Smoltz at our kickoff. Mentioned Matt Ryerson, Matt Tolbert, the Matts that that do the or have done the Tuesday morning program. They both had children recently in the last few weeks. Congratulations to both. Funny thing is, they are, it seems like that they follow in each other's footsteps. Matt Tolbert's baby was born May 30th. Matt Ryerson's was born June 7th. They both weighed 8 pounds and 4 ounces. Really strange there, but we wanted to congratulate them. And then just recently, Matt Carlson, who is the director over at Habitat for Humanity, also had a child. And we want to say congratulations to all three of the Matts. They seem to get confused with each other. We've got Matt Ryerson and Matt Carlson, who are both married to Heathers. So when you mix it all together, let's just say all three of them had children within a month of each other. So congratulations to all of those folks. Talking about United Way, we have some events that are coming up this month, and my first guest is going to be Patrick Long from the United Way Bradley County, and he's going to talk about some of the events that are coming up. And then after that, got a very special guest that most of you know as a member of the Collins Brothers, actually the front man for the Collins Brothers Band, JoJo Collins. And hopefully we're going to find out not just how good a singer he is, because I think he might perform a song for us or two. We all know he's great at that. But find out a little bit more about JoJo and how he got involved in music to begin with. Maybe we'll find out why he's called JoJo. I've wondered about that anyway. So good show coming up. We hope that you will stay with us for the next hour, and we will be back with Patrick Long right after these messages.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Rid-A-Pest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will eliminate these annoying pests, and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside, or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will retreat for free until you are satisfied, or after 30 days, will cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Rid-A-Pest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. My name is Alan Mincy. I'm your host on Monday mornings, alternating Monday mornings. And I have with me Patrick Long, who we probably see way too much of each other already since we're in the same office.
Yeah, same office.
Same office. Before we start talking, I know people are wondering about our friend here. This is We don't know who this. It doesn't. It's a puppy. It doesn't have a name.
No name. It's very sad.
Right. It's sort of like the Clint Eastwood of puppies. the puppy with no name.
Yes, that is what he is.
Let's check and make sure he doesn't have any rope burns on there. We are trying to get this is our mascot down at the United Way. He just happened to show up on the sidewalk out in front of our office.
Wandered up, yeah, really.
On all fours.
Followed Alan.
He followed me, yeah. Can I keep him, Mom? But he needs a name. We've got him a little shirt that says Live United, which is our theme, but we need to get him a name. And we've had some interesting names. The latest name that I was told just last week was somebody wanted to name him Jeff Smelly Shoes.
I think that's nice.
Now, that's kind of odd.
That's good.
Yes. And Eyeball. We had somebody wanted to name him Eyeball. So and then somebody wanted to name him after Mr. Osborne over at Ocoee Middle School. Wanted to name him after his mustache.
Mr. Osborne's awesome mustache.
Awesome mustache.
I can't think of a better name for a dog, though.
Well, that's just too much to say. You know, when you call your dog.
Maybe make it an acronym. MOAM. Right, Mr.
No, no, we'll pass on
Moam.
that. But we have some names now. If you want to help us name our puppy with no name, give us a call down at the United Way, 479-2020.
Yes.
Go to our Facebook page. Give us a name. We're going to pick a name, and we're going to give someone
$1 million.
Not $1 million. How about a T-shirt?
All right, I guess that's a compromise.
Right. It's probably the lower end of the scale there. But we have some Live United T-shirts that we want to give that to someone who names our puppy, and then our puppy's going to be all over town. Everywhere we go, he'll be right there with us. So help us name our puppy, okay? Now, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
You are with the United Way. What is your title?
My title officially is, I think, Chief Coffee Getter. I think.
Well, that's good because I'm the chief coffee maker.
Right,
so you're the one who
true.
drinks it.
And I think Matt is Chief Coffee Drinker. Really, it's his world. We just live in it.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
No, I understand.
Okay, now let's be serious.
Seriously, my title is Vice President of Community Impact.
Okay.
So.
And as such, I know you have a lot of duties. As I mentioned to you, this is the first time you've been on the show with me, and I always like to ask people a little bit about themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of folks in town know you because you've been in Cleveland for
7 years now.
And that was because you went to Lee University?
I went to Lee, yeah, got married, worked here, worked at New Hope Pregnancy Care Center here in town, and then worked for a mentoring program and worked in a lot of schools. So really well acquainted with the middle school demographic. There are lots of 8th graders.
Oh, yeah. And you've been with United Way of Bradley County for how long?
Oh, a grand total of 6 months.
6 months.
I'm an old pro at this
It seems
point.
longer.
Yeah,
But,
it does, really.
and, of course, your wife, Chelsea.
Yeah.
And where are you from originally?
Oh, that's a great question. Kind of like a nomad. My dad was in the military, so we kind of pinged around. Was born in Charleston, lived there for a little while.
Charleston,
South Carolina.
Okay.
Charleston, South Carolina, and
there's several. We have a Charleston in Bradley County.
This is true. I have learned. I have to
There you
differentiate there. Not Charleston, Tennessee. Charleston,
Okay.
South Carolina. So,
Okay.
and we lived in Louisiana for a little while in the New Orleans area, and so really Cleveland is the longest that I've been anywhere.
Like Cleveland?
Love Cleveland. It's a great place to be.
Fantastic. We got some good folks in Cleveland too.
We do.
And I know being with United Way, you deal with a lot of the good folks in our community. You've met several of them, I know, and as such, you work with them. Community Impact is the title, Vice President of Community Impact. Working with these people, what exactly is Community Impact to our community?
That's a great question. I say all the time I have the best job in town because my role at the United Way means that I get to work. Everybody out there who's trying to help people, I get to work with those people. I get to work with the 27 different organizations that the United Way funds, and really just very humbling, and it's an exciting job. And one of the things that I'm responsible for at the United Way is, when you sit back and when you look at everything that's going on from a community level, we've got all these organizations who are doing all this great work. My responsibility is to kind of get everybody pulling in the same direction. So instead of, if we use if you have I guess, horses, if you've got 27 different horses and they're all pulling in different directions, well, you're not going to get very far. And so part of my job is to kind of help get everybody on the same page and get them pulling in the same direction so that we can change education related outcomes, so that we can help families become more stable, so that we can provide people with the services that they need when they're in a crisis, and so that we can help give people access to health care and invest in prevention programs that keep people from needing health care to begin with. So.
Sort of like when I get some kids from Lee University that will call me and say, may we interview you for our public relations class? Mm-hmm. What's your definition of public relations? And I say, relating to the public. I guess as far as community impact is concerned, it's doing something that impacts our community.
Absolutely. And the really great thing, and nobody gets into human service work because they don't want to make a difference. People do this because they see a need that they want to fill. And the really great thing about my job is I get to sit back and I say, how can we communicate, really, how can we take everything that you're doing and measure it so that we can tell people exactly what difference you're making? And how can we take all of these programs and really, when you think about communities, I think you can think about them on a spectrum, and from unhealthy to healthy. And so what we're trying to do at the United Way specifically is always move that needle from unhealthy to healthy. And I think we land on the healthy end of the spectrum a lot in Bradley County. Mm-hmm. But so there are, what are things that we can do that tip that needle just a little bit further?
And I know by doing such, we deal with a lot of organizations in our community. Mm-hmm. We collaborate with a lot of programs, with agencies, mm-hmm. with our partners and everything like that. And coming up later this month, we have a set of workshops that you're going to be working with those folks who want to make an impact in our community but need a little assistance with funding. Absolutely.
One of the key ways that we really can make an impact as far as, changing the outcomes for families and kids and everybody really is funding. And we fund a lot of what the United Way does right now revolves around funding programs. And so a large piece of what we do, in 2005, everybody may not know this, but the Bradley County sold the county-run hospital, mm-hmm. and a portion of those proceeds are managed from this. Proceeds from that sale are managed by the United Way, and we make grants off of the interest from those grants. And so that is the Bradley Memorial Health Endowment Fund, and what's coming up are workshops to tell people how they can apply to be grantees to get funds from that endowment. So those workshops are going to be really important for anybody who's looking to apply, because we are making some changes to the way that we make those grants, and we need everybody to be informed about that. So there are 3 of them. The first one is Monday, July the 25th,
right,
from 9:30 to 10:30. The second one is on Thursday, July the 28th,
right,
from 11 to 12. And the third is on Friday, July the 29th, from 2 to 3. And all of those will be in the community room at the Cleveland Public Library. So
I wrote these down just in case Patrick forgot the dates, but he's pretty sharp.
Well, I've said them enough at this point. I wake up in the night actually saying those dates.
He's sharp at this. Now, me, I have trouble with calendars. I set him up for an interview up at the radio station with Steve Hartline and with Bridget, and I had him up there last week on a Wednesday. When we got there, we realized that Wednesday and Thursday are not the same day, and he was supposed to be there on Thursday. My bad, not Mean Gene.
Sorry, Gene. Yeah. I think you got accused of being on crack this morning on Steve's show.
Well, it was last week that they were doing that. But
sorry,
yes,
it's not Gene's fault.
Yeah, it's
totally
not her
ours.
fault. My fault. But I did this just in case Patrick had a little problem with the calendar. But I should have known better. You're sharp at that.
Well,
we've got something else coming up too, and that is coming up later this week on the 21st.
Absolutely, we're excited about this. It's called Raise Your Hand Tennessee, and exactly, put them both up. But so
raise your hands in the air,
wave them like you just don't
care.
Sure, yeah, no, it's going to be. There's going to be some.
That's your last rap on Monday's Tennessee Valley this morning. We'll save that for the Palos on Wednesday.
Right, sure. Okay. Prominent hip hop artists are going to be featured. Raise Your Hand Tennessee. But no, it's one of the things that when we look at community impact, one of the things that we really want to do is we want to get kids ready for school. School readiness is a huge thing. 3rd grade. By the time a kid's in the 3rd grade, their reading level really you can almost predict graduation rates based off of 3rd grade reading proficiency. And so one of the things that we are really focused on, and we've got some great partners who help us do this, is we want to focus on early childhood education. We want to focus on prepping kids for school. So this Raise Your Hand Tennessee Day, it's a partnership with the library. We're going to have volunteers reading to kids essentially all day long at the hours of 10, 11, 1, 3, and 6. Every 15 minutes there will be a reading. So 10, 10, 15, 10, 30, 10, 45. So we're excited about that. We think it's going to be a real good time.
Now, I know that you mentioned volunteers. We got volunteers from, I know, some industrial leaders.
Absolutely. We got Matt Hockman from Eaton is going to be there.
I
He's
knew he
new
was
over
coming.
there. First Tennessee has committed some people to
Sure,
volunteer.
sure.
Even some elected officials. We got
Yeah.
Senator Mike Bell, and I think Kevin Brooks is going to be there. So.
And you know, for those of you that thought that our elected officials couldn't read, they are actually going to show you that they can read.
That's actually why they did this. They said they needed to prove some people wrong. So.
Right, and we are of course just kidding. Some of them may be up for re-election. We better watch what we say.
They can read.
But and that's at the Cleveland Public Library.
Cleveland Public Library, June 21st.
June 21st, right.
Later this week, this Thursday.
And now Raise Your Hand Tennessee is a statewide collaborative effort.
It is. It is. I think there are 42 counties who are involved, and all of them are focused on really connecting kids with books. And there's some mentoring going on that day, really encouraging people to sign up and mentor a kid, and really encouraging people to kind of help tutor maybe some kids that you know that are off track, so they could use a little extra support. So.
And what I would suggest for you parents, you know, to bring your kids. Now, this is not a drop your kids off babysitting kind of thing.
It's not. It's only 15 minutes of reading.
Right. But take this opportunity for those of you that have never been to the library. It's a great. We have a great library here.
We do.
And I got to make library. We were just kidding about how some folks can't say library or library.
Nuclear.
But take this opportunity to visit the library. They've got a coffee shop there.
Yeah, it's real good coffee.
Yeah, go down to Lassiter's.
Sandwiches.
Lassiter's,
yeah.
Books. It's just, you know, it's a great place to go to take your kids so they can get involved. But it gives you a chance. You know, they've got books for all ages.
They do.
And they've got resources like where you can look up old magazines and all sorts of things. So take advantage. I think Nancy Kaysen, it's one of the things she calls one of our hidden treasures in town. I think she says that on just about everything. If they talk about the museum, it's a hidden treasure. If they talk about the library, it's a hidden treasure. If there is a hidden treasure out there somewhere, she'll probably call that a hidden treasure too. So, but please come. And I like the way that you've got it set up, where there is a 6 o'clock time also for those folks who may not be able to have their kids there.
Absolutely, and you can bring them, and really you can have your kids there. If you wanted to come at 6:30 and you wanted to have them there for the 6:30 reading and the 6:45 reading, you could absolutely do that. And this library summer reading program actually starts at 7 o'clock that night.
That's true.
Be a great opportunity to come out, and I think there's going to be some storytelling there, which is a step up from just reading. There may or may not be costumes, I hear. So
it sounds great.
Absolutely.
So a lot of things going on in our community with United Way and with our collaborative partners.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
So,
once again, grant workshops, what's our times on those? What's our days?
the 25th from 9:30 to 10:30, the 28th from 11 to 12, and the 29th from 2 to 3.
Okay, and then Raise Your Hand Tennessee on the 21st.
21st.
The times again?
10, 11, 12. I'm sorry, 10, 11, 1, 3, and 6.
I finally tripped you up on one of them. It took me a little while, but at 10, 11, 1, 3, and 6. And I know you're also involved with our fund distribution process through the United Way. And we're always looking for volunteers.
Always.
To serve on panels.
Yes.
If anyone wants to get involved with the United Way, what do they need to do?
Well, they can just call our office at 479-2020, ask for Patrick, and I'll be sure to get you connected, and we'll figure out how to plug you in. So.
Okay. Sounds great. Well, Patrick, I appreciate you coming in today. It's early in the morning.
Early.
And it's actually the right day for you to be here. I didn't bring you in early on a day you're not supposed to be here like I did.
Right, well, I did show up
station.
yesterday, and they were kind of, who are you?
Yeah, which is tough because there's hardly anybody here on Sunday.
Right, yeah, really, I just stood outside and knocked for about 15 minutes. But.
Right. Well, we appreciate your diligence and hanging around all day and staying until Monday. But
well,
I know Chelsea had work for you to do at home.
Always. There's always a honey-do list. So.
A honey-do list. But thank you once again. If you have any questions, give Patrick a call, 479-2020 down at the United Way office. and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I'll be seeing you later today.
Yeah, that is.
I'll be seeing you all week.
I
I
gotta
guess.
see you again.
You'll be
man.
drinking my coffee.
That is the truth.
Okay. Thanks, Patrick, for being on the
you.
show. We will be back after these messages with JoJo Collins from the Collins Brothers Band.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
Raise your hands in the air.
Thank you.
Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Rid-A-Pest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will eliminate these annoying pests, and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside, or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will retreat for free until you are satisfied, or after 30 days, will cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Rid-A-Pest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
And welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning on this Monday morning, June the 18th. A great week ahead, and you can't start a week off any better than having music happening in your head. And I think we have a guest who's always got music playing in his head. There's always some kind of melody going on in there.
Maybe not at 6:30 in the morning, but
that's well, it may not be the exact song that it may still be the lullaby that we may
that's true.
We may hear
that's
later.
True. Yes.
But this is JoJo Collins, and a lot of you know JoJo because you've lived in this community all your life, I believe.
I have.
And a lot of you know the Collins Brothers Band, and man, they play everywhere, it seems like, including Riverbend.
That's correct.
But and I've even known you to be down at the bistro. You do the bistro every once in a while.
I do, just me and my guitar every Wednesday nights.
And I attended something. Oh, it's been a couple of years ago, out at at Cleveland Middle School, where you and your brother I think did an acoustic.
That is correct. That was for Christian Man and a group that he was working with.
Exactly.
To raise money.
Yeah. So I've heard JoJo play individually and with his brother, and then with the band. One of the highlights for me when I go down to the Relay for Life every year is the Collins Brothers Band plays the last set until I think they have a church group that comes in and usually sings at the very end. But you end up the entertainment in most cases. But I wanted to get JoJo on here because I've heard his music. I've heard the songs that he's been involved with. Love music myself, but it's always nice to find out a little bit more about the artist. And honestly, the only thing I know about you is I know that you're married to Holly Biggs Collins, and I know Holly from, people say, well, how do you know Holly? I know her from her dad. Well, who's her dad? Well, that's Tom Biggs. Well, how'd you know him? Well, he was my probation officer, which wasn't true, but he worked in the Office of Probation in town, so we got to know each other when I worked at the Banner.
He was a great man.
Great man, and her mom, Judy.
Yep, she's a great lady.
She is. She is a good family that you married to, and a good family that you were born into as well. Right. Collins is not an unusual name in Bradley County. Are you guys all related?
Most of us. Most of it. I think there's two sets of Collins, one that came in a little bit later, but most of the Collinses that you see around were all came off the ark.
Okay. But you know, we see you playing music all the time, but I wanted to find out just how you got involved. But let's talk about your family first.
Okay.
As you saw that I did with Patrick, I tried to find out a little bit more about him. And I mentioned your wife, but you've got 2 or 3 kids.
Have 2. Josie is our daughter. She's 10.
Okay.
And Trent is 5, about to turn 6.
Okay. And musically inclined?
They both are. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know Josie sings.
She sings and she does some acting and and is very unintimidated by most environments, and that's where it all starts. And Trent, he likes to sing and play instruments, but he leans toward his uncle a little bit more on the drums. So we might have another drummer, or that might just be the boy in him right now. We're not sure.
Now your brother, his name?
Brother Corey.
Corey, okay.
Collins,
I couldn't remember Corey's name.
Yeah, he's the drummer in the band.
Right, but so Trent is kind of liking the drums.
He is. He's
percussion.
He's a wild man.
Well, you know, I've seen bands that have 2 drummers.
Well, that's true.
So you know, this could start something there.
Yeah.
But that's great. And did you lead them that direction, or did they just pick it up?
Well, you know, it's in our family. There's instruments sitting around, and that's the way it was when I was growing up. You know, my mom was a piano player, and my dad was the choir leader, and there was always a piano there. There wasn't guitars or anything like that, but I took advantage of the piano, just hammering around on it. And I always said when I got older and had children that I want to have instruments set out so if they want to play them, that they can just walk up and play them and not worry about hurting them or destroying them or anything. So in our basement we have a bass guitar, electric guitar, drums, keyboards, microphones. So they're around it all the time, and if they want to play it, they see Daddy play it. When the Collins brothers practice in our basement, they see that. And so that fosters the music bug that they have in them.
Now Josie's been on stage with you, but Trent, not yet.
Not yet. He is, he's a little unsure at his age, but Josie has never had a problem, especially in church. And we'll get through singing, and she'll say, "Dad, I'd like to sing one." And what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And so if Papaw's there, my dad, who used to lead the singing, she's got a spot.
Now, just so folks will know, the church you're talking about?
Well, I go to First Baptist Church here in Cleveland.
Okay, I thought so.
My parents just retired from music duties at First Baptist in Charleston. And they've been, people in Bradley County in the church, they know my mom and dad from Clinging Ridge Baptist Church.
Sure.
But they've been around a long time, so, and that's where my music comes from, is sitting on the front row when I couldn't touch the floor, and my mom on the piano and my dad leading the choir in church, and I got to go up and sing with them, and I guess that's where it all started.
What's the first song you ever sang?
Oh,
Do you remember?
Jesus Loves Me, I'm sure.
Of course,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
When did you get the feeling that you wanted to start a band?
Wow.
Because I know that you probably did things individually for a while there.
I did, and I started.
And then with your brother, maybe.
Yeah, I started late as far as the band thing. I would sing at, you know, people would ask me to sing at their weddings or different events, or just over on the back porch or something like that. And when I was in college up in Virginia, we kind of put together a little band, and we were terrible. Hope those guys aren't watching, but we were not good at all.
We have a large audience in Virginia.
Okay, well, sorry guys, but
No.
we weren't very good, but I knew somewhere deep down inside that that's probably what I should be doing. And then I wrote my first song when I was 12, and performed it in church, and it probably wasn't very good either.
What was it?
You know, I couldn't tell you.
It's that long ago that you.
Oh yes.
But you remember that you were 12.
Oh
when
yes.
you wrote
I
the first
remember
one.
the event because I was pretty scared.
Yeah. Okay. But and now, and I'm not going to ask you your age, but you've been doing music for many years.
I have.
You're still very young.
Yeah, thank you.
Still got
and
a
you
lot.
are too.
Well, thank you, but you lie. You lie on that. But it's it's interesting to talk to musicians and find out when they actually got that music bug in them. And in your case, it was just a family thing.
It was. And the definitive moment came in 1999, and I was still living in Virginia at the time, and worked for General Motors up there, and had worked for them out of college, and just had one of those life-changing events. And I said, I don't want to get to the end of my life and have a regret, and I was afraid that that would be my regret. So I called my brother, called my parents, and I said, we're going to do some music. And if it doesn't last, then we'll hang it up, and I got something to fall back on. And that was 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
And you've been...
And now I make my living at it.
I started to say more music than anything since then. We were talking earlier about some things, and I want to ask you this before I forget it, because we were kidding about your name. Especially when I was getting Joe Palo and Joe and all that.
A lot of Joes in here.
A lot of Joes. But you said there was a kind of a funny story about how you got your name Joe.
Yeah.
You know, why it's not just Joe.
Yeah, it's funny that when I was born, my parents had been married for, I guess, 4 years. And when she filled out the birth certificate, she filled it out Joseph Donald Collins, Jr. Well, there is no Joseph Donald Collins Sr. because several years later, my dad informed her that he's Joe, he's not Joseph.
Not Joseph.
So I'm a junior to no one. Okay. But anyway, she went back and changed that. But that's where they started calling me JoJo. And my mom was very serious about it because she didn't want me to be confused with my dad. And at home, when you say Joe and everybody turns around, it's kind of difficult. But I remember vividly at Hopewell Elementary School, after about 2 weeks, I went home and told my mom that, I won't say the teacher's name, I don't know if she's still around, but she was calling me Joe. And my mom said, well, that's not going to happen. And I remember my mom marching in on Monday morning, pulling Miss So-and-so over to the side, and I could hear her say, his name is JoJo. You will call him JoJo. Now, isn't that funny how that has stuck in my mind all these years?
And you've been.
And I've been JoJo ever since.
And you haven't thought about, you know, I think, you know, like what J.J. Cale or something like that. That you might have gone with the J.J. as far as a performer.
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I wouldn't. You know, no. I just like being who I am. Yeah.
You're JoJo. Well, and that's something that I think everybody appreciates is with the Collins brothers when they play. You are just one with the audience.
Right.
It's like you're having as much fun as the folks out there that are listening.
That's the key. That's the key. You can't fake it. You just got to go out and have a good time.
We want to hear some of your music, but we're going to take a break and then come back. I hope that you will do Tennessee Lullaby and tell us a little bit about the story.
Okay.
A great song and a great story as well. So we will be back after these messages, and JoJo will play a little music for us. So we'll be right back.
Have annoying biting and stinging insects taken over your yard? Volunteer Rid-A-Pest can get it back. Make your yard a no-fly zone with Mosquito Guard. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will eliminate these annoying pests, and you'll be able to work in your yard, have a pool party, a cookout, allow your children to play outside, or just sit outside and enjoy the evening. Volunteer Rid-A-Pest has developed an extremely effective treatment program that treats all shrubs, bushes, trees, and other foliage where mosquitoes and other biting, stinging insects live and breed. This material will not harm your plants or trees and leaves no harmful residue. This treatment program is safe for use around children and pets, but the best part is it's 100% guaranteed. If you are not 100% satisfied, Volunteer Rid-A-Pest will retreat for free until you are satisfied, or after 30 days, will cancel their agreement and refund 100% of your money. Give Volunteer Rid-A-Pest a call for a free no-obligation estimate. Phone 472-7736.
I'm Byron Winters with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Contact me for all of your business insurance needs. From general liability to workers' comp, commercial auto, and business umbrellas. Landmark Insurance has you covered.
Tell you, there's nothing like watching Joe Palo work the cameras by himself. He's a fast man. He's rapid. He's like Rapid Roy, the stock car boy. He's Rapid Joe, the camera whatever. But he had to move things around so we could make sure that we got, I guess, a close-up of JoJo when he was going to sing for us. And I don't know if you want to do a song before Tennessee Lullaby or if you want to do Tennessee Lullaby.
Yeah, let's do Tennessee Lullaby.
Well, tell the folks how this came about.
Well, me and Derek Kinsey co-wrote this song, and me and Derek write pretty frequently, and I was over at his house one night, and we just share ideas, things that happen in our day. And one day I was over there and I said, you know what, I've never written a song about my lovely wife, and we just left it at that. We kind of, chuckled, blah, blah. And well, the next week when I was over there, he said, let's talk about that. And I said, talk about what? And he goes, how you met your wife? And I said, nobody wants to hear that. And he goes, I bet they do. So he said, he pulled it out of me. I guess because it was so personal to me, he took a pad and he goes, where did you meet Holly? And I told him, and he wrote it down. And he said, what was the day like that day? He wrote it down. And when we got finished, he said, this is our song. All we have to do is put it into a song form with rhymes and a melody. And we proceeded over the next 2 weeks to do that, and it became Tennessee Lullaby.
Tennessee Lullaby.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to put one side note in here.
Okay.
I always tell this to the audience. I can show you the actual spot that we were standing in the parking lot when I met her that fall day. However, the university has since built a building over that parking lot. So there's a part in the song where I say, taking the kids to show them where I met Mommy and Dad, where I met Mommy, and it's probably in a closet now,
right? Because
the university has expanded. So
they certainly
anyway,
have.
That's always funny.
Well, I'm going to let you look at the camera. We're going to I think Joe just ran in and out again, but we're going to let you play the song for the audience.
All right,
so,
here we go.
Thank you.
Well, I left Cleveland looking for my song, off to work in Richmond while you made Nashville your home. I never knew you growing up back there. Only 6 miles between us, sometimes life just ain't fair. But magic led us both to Knoxville, where the walls came down. Guess we had to leave our childhood homes for home to be found. What a tailgate party, I got some crazy friends. Rocky Top was rocking, I prayed the night would never end, because I found you there in a sea of orange and white. Now that's one game that surely changed my life. And oh, I remember the first time I saw you smile that sweet September. The colored leaves in autumn breeze and not wanting to say goodbye. Thinking you may be my song, my Tennessee lullaby. This big orange jersey, yeah, it's starting to fade. Season tickets and you as my wife, man, I got it made. The pride of the Southland, they just played our song. He drops back, rolls out left, I think we're going long. And as the referee signal touchdown, your lips touch mine. And oh, I lost my breath like the first time. And oh, I remember the first time I saw you smile that sweet September. The colored leaves in autumn breeze and not wanting to say goodbye. Thinking you may be my song, my Tennessee lullaby. It's their first game and one they won't forget. Show 'em where mommy and daddy met. And oh, I still remember the first time I saw you smile that sweet September. The colored leaves in autumn breeze and not wanting to say goodbye. Yes, I found my song, my Tennessee lullaby. Yes, you are my song, my Tennessee lullaby.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
We've actually got some folks in the audience, so if they wanted to applaud, that would be. We don't have a large studio audience, but we have a few folks here.
Thank you.
I'm surprised that so many references to UT in there, and Derek is from Georgia.
I know it was tough on him to
Yeah.
do that, but that's what kind of friend he is.
Well, at least he's not from that other state.
That's correct.
And
It'd have been a tough write.
yeah, I'm sure he would have changed that date in September to that date in October.
That's yes.
But actually, that's the date. It was September when you met Holly.
September 28th. That's right.
Okay, fantastic.
1998.
How long have you guys been married?
10 years.
Fantastic. 10 years this September?
This May.
This May. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Duh, that's when you met.
Right.
Okay. So you just celebrated your 10-year anniversary.
12 years. 12 years.
Okay.
I got to get that right.
Can we correct that?
12 years.
Too
12
bad.
years.
Too
12
bad.
years. I got too many dates in my head.
I tell you. Well, I tripped Patrick up earlier, so now I tripped you up.
You got me.
Patrick
12
can get away
years.
with it.
Yeah.
You might get some grief when you. Nah, I don't think so. Holly's such a nice person. Musical influences. Who influenced your music?
Well, gospel music is my #1 influence since that's what I've, listened to growing up. Secular influences, the big ones are Alabama, the Eagles, and Charlie Daniels.
Okay.
That's the big three right there. And then I love Merle Haggard and Johnny Cash. The old traditional.
I was say you're throwing some old.
Yeah, I just like the artists that. This is who they are. They put it out there. They're not trying to please you as such, but this is who they are, and they hope you like it. But if you don't, that's okay. And I like that.
That's great. That's great. What venues have you played? Special venue? Because I know you've been not just here in Cleveland, and we mentioned Riverbend, but you've been other places too.
We have. We've been north to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for some music festivals up there. We've been all the way down to Mobile, Alabama. We've played at the Bowery, where Alabama got their start, in Myrtle Beach. We've played all up and down the Strip in Nashville at Tootsie's and the Stage and Roberts, and this coming September or August, we're playing at the Tennessee-NC State football game pregame at the Georgia Dome. So
fantastic.
A lot of stuff. We've been real fortunate.
I did not know that. That sounds like a great.
Yeah.
I mentioned John Smoltz earlier about the coup that we had him coming. That sounds like wow. I'm going to get to play the Georgia Dome.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you play acoustic guitar, but you also play electric.
I do play electric. Yeah.
Okay.
Acoustic in the band is my main, and vocals. That's what they pay me for. But I play. My first instrument was piano because of my mom, and I still can play piano enough to be dangerous. So,
quick thing about the band. You mentioned your brother, but you've got other members of the band. We ought to mention their names.
Yeah, let's do that. We got two guys from Chatsworth, Georgia, in our band. Alan Campbell, and he plays lead guitar, and Jay Harris. They live about 2 miles apart from each other, and Jay plays bass, does a great job. And then we have Rick Nelson, who is formerly of Park City, Utah, but lives in Cleveland now, and he plays the fiddle and the mandolin and the keyboards.
Multi-talented.
He is. He's our utility boy.
Okay, so a 5-member group?
5-member group, that's right.
Okay.
And I got to mention David Bird, who is our sound man, but he is so much more than that. He's a part of the band, and David is from here in Cleveland too.
Now you sing lead, but do you have some other lead singers?
We do. My brother Corey.
I thought I'd seen him sing a song.
Yeah,
before.
and Jay, they can, and Rick, they can all give me a break every once in a while and sing songs. So, yeah, it's we're multi-vocaled.
What's it like to be on stage for somebody like me who is, you know, I played trumpet in the high school band. You know, you don't know who the trumpet player is in the high school band, but you're out on stage,
right?
And you're playing in front of audiences that range from, I'm sure, 15 to, you know, 500,
right,
or more,
right.
Well, river band, of course, thousands.
Thousands, that's right.
What's that feel like?
You know, I try not to think about it. I try to concentrate on the song, but every once in a while, I don't want to say you make a connection, but they really let you know that they're enjoying what you're doing, and there's not too many feelings like that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I bet. What's the song that they asked for the most? I guess Tennessee Lullaby, but
they asked for Tennessee Lullaby, and they asked for a song we have called Whiskey IV.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've heard you sing that.
Yeah.
That's an interesting song too.
Yeah.
Actually, have I not heard that on US 101?
You have, yeah, US 101, and actually NASCAR just picked that song up. They did a mechanical lean, or I don't know what you call it, but anyway, they're leasing that song from me to play in their NASCAR biography for 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen for that.
Yes.
What's up next? And then, of course, this is Monday, the 18th of June.
Right.
But what's up next for the Collins Brothers?
Well, probably the next big show we have is coming up July 29th at the Foothills Fair, and we'll be opening up for
Up in
a,
Maryville? No, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
at the
sorry.
Tri-State.
I'm thinking of ooh, boy.
No,
See, I messed up now.
No, that's fine.
That's
they
cool.
have Foothills up there too.
They do. But oh yeah,
the Foothills Country Fair here, and we'll be opening up for Shenandoah.
All right.
Which is a great country
There you
band from the
go.
'90s.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, and then we have the thing at the Georgia Dome coming up, and we've got a new song. So it's not a new song, but it's a revamped version of a song that I wrote, and it's called My Southern Life.
Okay.
And it's starting to do some things.
Fantastic.
So, and can I mention our website?
Please do.
It's thecollinsbrothers.com, and we're also on Facebook under Collins Brothers Band.
Right. And I know you do a lot of things in our community to help nonprofit organizations and events. I know you were at the Boogie at the Barn.
Right.
I mentioned the Relay for Life. There are, you know, you're very philanthropic in what you do, but you also have paying gigs too.
Oh yes.
You got to make some money.
That's right.
If anybody out there wants to contact the Collins Brothers to get them to come, do you play weddings?
Sure.
You do weddings?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know that I would hear Whiskey IV at a wedding. That's probably not what you'd play.
We
there.
have a large playlist.
Okay.
And we break out. We can do R&B. We can do classic rock, whatever the case is. So yeah, we do weddings. We've played lots of weddings.
Okay. We'll give the Collins
Birthday parties.
Yeah. Bar mitzvahs, whatever.
That's right.
Give the Collins Brothers.
Yeah, just go to our website, and there's a contact us on there.
Okay. We've got about 5 minutes left in the show. Could you play us out with another song? Do you have something that?
Wow.
You knew I was going to ask for Tennessee Lullaby.
Yeah.
And Whiskey IV may not be exactly
not at
good for 6:30 in the morning.
No, we don't need that.
Although some of us, you know.
All right, well, I'll do you a little bit of My Southern Life, which is our new song.
Okay.
And it's just about, you know, growing up in the South.
Fantastic.
And I got the idea for this first verse from an old, you remember Sundrop, the drink Sundrop?
Yeah, sure.
Well, there was a commercial that stuck in my brain from years ago, and these kids were sitting out on the edge of what looked like the Ocoee River, just any river, and for that commercial, they reached down in the water and pulled up a 6-pack of that Sundrop, and the water was just falling off of it. So that's where some of this came from.
You never know where inspiration comes from, right? Fantastic.
Pull off your shoes, roll up your jeans, and now stick your feet down in the stream Reach down in the water and pull up a can, and pop a top and let the fun begin. Those lazy days and crazy nights, it's all part of my southern life. I pick you up a cane pole and tie a little string, hook you up some corn and now let it sink. I grab a bale of hay and set your honey down, and pull her in real close and put your arm around. Those lazy days and crazy nights, it's all part of my southern life. Those lazy days and crazy nights, it's all part of my southern life. Here's my favorite part. The simple way has been so good to me, and where I'm from is where I'll always be. And those lazy days and crazy nights, it's all part of my southern life. And those lazy days and crazy nights, it's all part of my southern life. That's it.
Audience, yeah. And you say you're still working on that, or is that?
We're yes.
Okay.
We're still working on it, but it's going to be out this summer.
Okay.
For people to grab.
And where will we hear it? Can we get your music online?
You can if you go to iTunes and Rhapsody and Amazon.
Okay.
Just put in Collins Brothers Band. Most of our music is out there.
Okay.
So,
sounds good.
Thank you for having me, by the way. I do appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming on. I have to admit, Rob Alderman has called you out, is my understanding. And of course he had Derek on his show, and I think Derek helped him, said, JoJo Collins, you need to come on our show. And oh my, unfortunately somebody beat him to it. So I appreciate you coming on. It's always good when I can dig at Rob a little bit.
All right.
And Derek, and you know, we kid about Derek. Derek is a friend of mine from Gravel Road, and also from the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
Great guy, and a better songwriter than I really knew he was.
Oh yeah, he is.
So, and I think I've heard some of him play some of his music too. So that's great. But no, I really do appreciate you coming on. It's an honor. All I get to do is hear your music, but to find out more about you is great, and for the general public to learn a little bit more about you.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Once again, for them to find out more about the band, they need to go to your website, which is
thecollinsbrothers.com.
Okay, and your Facebook. You have a Facebook page.
Yeah, it's Facebook. I don't know how all that works, but Collins Brothers Band.
I think in a lot of cases you can just go to Facebook and do a search.
Yeah.
And you'll find that out. Hey, I know your Tennessee Lullaby. I mentioned at the beginning of the show Nancy Kaysen and Brene Beatty doing the Thursday show, and I don't know a bigger UT fan than Nancy and Flavis Kaysen.
Oh yeah.
So I know that she probably would have enjoyed listening to that. Yep. So, but I'm gonna yell at Joe in the back. Hey Joe, how much time we got? Got about a minute. So. There we go. Oh, you play spoons?
Well, I saw a rerun of Hee Haw the other day, and it reminded me of the good stuff.
Yeah. And hey, I'm surprised Buck Owens wasn't one of your influences.
I like Buck. He just, you know, he wasn't up there in the top, but oh yeah, I love Buck Owens' music.
Buck Owens, yeah. We're dating ourselves, and I'm older than you, but watching Hee Haw, that's a long time ago. Please tell your family I said hey. Tell Holly I said hey, and tell Trent that when he gets a little older, we'll have him on the show.
Okay.
And who knows?
Josie.
Josie, we may get them both on here.
Oh yeah, you won't be able to get them off. This is a problem. They'll stay here, and Trent will be in your bushes back there.
That'll be fine. Hey guys, another reminder: we're trying to find a name for this dog. You know, we may try to find a song for this dog. We may get JoJo to write a song about our mascot. Maybe Live United. I don't know how we can do that, but we will see you next time. JoJo, once again, Live United.
I think it's Lou. LU.
That's what Lulu is one that's been told to us.
Okay, yeah.
Guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.